Audio Jungle.
Man, I will tell you what, I have no patience at all because I don't think I've ever gone through a full countdown while I was waiting to start the show. I mean, I just don't get it. I think that I'm just excited. I'm excited that it's Friday. I'm excited that OTAs are through the roof for a bunch of teams. There's still a lot to talk about, surprisingly. I mean, I've definitely been going pretty hard as far as the content, sort of distribution this offseason. And at first I was kind of like, dude, like there's nothing to talk about, but there is. There is quite a bit to talk about. And we're going to uncover a lot of these on today's episode. We're going to be discussing that new kickoff rule. In fact, I have the papers right in front of us. We're going to decide exactly how we feel about it. Most players and fans in the league think it's absolute bullshit, but we're just going to have to figure it out. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing fantastic. Damon, good to see you. Nadine, very nice to see you as well. Dick J, happy Friday. It's Wally T Dude official. Welcome. Cameron, what's up, man? Happy Friday. I hope everybody has some pretty exciting plans. I know that I have this stream right here where we are going to be discussing the topics I just mentioned. And then later on today, I'm going to be dropping my video, the top 10 dirtiest players in NFL history. In fact, I'm going to release it shortly after this stream concludes. But once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm currently in my garage right now because I have some people doing some work inside and I didn't want it to be too loud. Hence why the audio is a little shaky. I mean, I'm using my AirPods right now for audio at this point, but the show must go on. I had Clay from Pantherology. He was supposed to be joining us today as well. But then, unfortunately, Dude Man ended up getting called in to a work commitment, which I totally understand. But once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a good time to be over here. This is Monday through Friday, Don Mafia Live, where I give you late breaking NFL news accompanied by some of the finest amateur analysis in the game. Right before we get going, I do want to go on ahead and I do want to shout out today's sponsor. And then that just so happens to be Prize Picks, baby. Right over there. Listen, one of the best fantasy sports betting platforms on the face of the planet. It's for football, basketball, baseball, hockey. So say, for example, that you like throwing down some cash and some saucy parlays, definitely sign up and use code Don Mafia. Just download Prize Picks, use code Don Mafia, and they will match 100% of your initial deposit. They're giving you free money the second that you make a deposit into that. I got screwed last night. I got absolutely screwed last night with my basketball parlay. I thought Jimmy Butler was going to go over 30.5. Didn't happen. Don't be like me, okay? Be like you. Definitely check it out. It's always a good time. Prize Picks, the answer to all of our questions. All right, so first thing I wanted to discuss, okay? A lot of players have been coming out and they're very upset with the kickoff rule. And I feel like that they should be. I feel like that this is probably one of the most nonsense rules I have seen in a very long time. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up this real fast so y'all can see what we got. All right. So this right here is the rule. Let me go ahead. Let me actually put my face here so y'all can see my face. Okay, cool. So this is essentially, and then I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in too so y'all can see this bad boy. Okay. So apparently it's for 1 year only. So for 1 year only, Rule 10, Section 2, Article 4, putting the ball in play after fair catch, blah, blah, blah. They've changed this completely, as we know. So now, with this amendment, after a fair catch is made or is awarded as the result of a fair catch interference, the receiving team has the option of putting the ball in play by either a fair catch kick, drop kick, or place kick without a tee from the spot of the catch or the succeeding spot after enforcement of any applicable penalties or rules, or snap from the spot of the catch or the succeeding spot after the enforcement of any applicable penalties, unless a player on the receiving team makes a fair catch of a free kick behind the receiving team's 25-yard line, in which case the ball will be put in play at the receiving team's 25-yard line. The effect, for 1 year only, it puts the ball in play at the receiving team's 25-yard line if there's a fair catch on a free kick behind the receiving team's 25-yard line. The reason behind it is player safety. What kind of absolute vanilla granola boy rule is this? I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like as a Bills fan, say, for example, that it is called based off of our benefit, then I'm going to be clicking my absolute heels on this. Like, I'm going to be clicking my absolute heels when it comes down into it. But like when it goes against the Bills' detriment, like say for example that Tyler Bass just kicks an absolute beauty and it drops right in like the 1 or the 2 yard line, like one of the two, and then that asshole team is being placed all the way at the 25. I think like I think it's ruining the game. And so I really do. I mean, I think I get it from a perspective that I was reading some article the other day saying that um, vast majority of concussions that happen in the NFL are during those kickoffs. And I read something that this new rule supposedly or allegedly is supposed to decrease so occurrences of concussions by 5 to 6%, which is always a step in the right direction. But I feel like that they could have done that in a different way. Like, I mean, maybe continue doing some research on some helmet safety, making sure that all of that is up to par and in sync. But this rule is absolutely dumb. And let me know about how you feel about it in the live chat as well, because I feel like everyone's on the same like thought process. I know that Chiefs Travis Kelce came out. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna share this article real fast, so we're gonna see what he has to say. He said something pretty interesting about it, but I kind of want to see what was going on in his head. Um, so when NFL owners approved a rule Tuesday allowing teams to start a drive on the 25-yard line with a fair catch is signaled, blah, 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 blah. It's never easy for special teams coaches. They've coached it a certain way. They think they have an advantage, so they're not going to be happy with changes like this. Let's see what these guys got to say about this. And so tell me if y'all can hear this as well.
We're excited.
Okay, no free brand deals here, okay? B&H video. They know me. Okay, this has nothing to do with what Travis Kelce had to say. Okay, anyway, it's never easy for special teams coaches. They've coached it a certain way, but the changes need to be made because in our mind we have the data that said it should be made. Not sure about that. And backlash has ensued with Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce and Philadelphia Eagles offensive lineman Jason Kelce on their podcast. I think this is absolutely stupid. So Kelce said, I don't think it is making the game safer. I think it's making it more boring and taking a lot of excitement out of the game's opening play. This is whack. We're just getting closer and closer to getting rid of special teams, said Jason Kelce. And the only thing left now is punt. When someone's not going to fair catch it and take the ball at the 25, unless it's just a really bad kick. I feel like that I'm going to have to agree with this guy. I think that it's absolutely stupid that they're basically doing that as well. King James says, hi, Dan. I love the short you did about 37 Joe Delaney. Hey, man, listen, that was you. Hey, man, you were the one that let me know about that. That was a story that really touched me, man. And so I'm glad that you enjoyed it. They're going to phase out the kickoffs for player safety, but it's really for the bookmakers to have an easier time setting lines. So strange stuff in special teams doesn't sway the game. Interesting. Now, that's a conspiracy. That is 1,000% a conspiracy about this whole rule change, which is absolutely nonsense. Mike Florio called out the NFL on the number of kickoff concussions. They claimed there were 19, and Florio said he only found 8. Where's the other 11 NFL? What is cooking up? What is cooking up with the NFL? Where they're lying about concussion data, whether or not that it's to the detriment or whether or not that it's like right to the benefit as well. And so I thought special teams coaches went through the files and couldn't find all these concussions. Dude, luckily the rule, from what I'm seeing right now, is exclusively for this year. So if it's absolute nonsense and like the league hates it, back in 2024, we should be able to get it back to what we need, or when it comes down into it. Delusional Patriots fan says this rule is all about getting sucky teams closer to the goal line to score. Yeah, like I mean, honestly, like say like you don't boot it into the end zone, or say that like Jason Kelce said, unless it's like the worst fucking kickoff of all time, what returner is not going to signal for a fair catch? What returner is not going to signal for a fair catch at the 5-yard line just to get them like an extra 20? It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on with that. Are we 9 deep yet, Jamie? I'm working on it. Not sure what that's about. It's getting soft now. Lawrence Daniels is coming in saying that the league is getting soft. I mean, honestly, it seems like everybody's on the exact same page that this is just getting absolutely wild. They should try this for the preseason. That's a 64 game sample size. I feel like that they probably should have just did this for the preseason exclusively, right? I mean, that's the time to test some of these rules, see whether or not that it just pisses NFL fans off. But I mean, dude, there's been so many occasions for me where things have happened in the NFL and I'm like, oh man, like I'm not gonna watch anymore. But then literally just a day later, I'm watching Good Morning Football. Like it's gonna be tough for me to ever like walk away from the sport, like no matter what they do. It's just, something I grew up with. Mike Florio didn't look at any film. It was special teams coaches. Yeah. Mike Florio probably just reported it, but we're just gonna have to. It's Wally YT, dude. Official sucky ass new rule. Florio just sensationalized it. So all you need is 25 yards and you're in field goal range. Yeah, for sure. 110%. How dumb is that, right? In fact, yo, Ollie, was that you who said something about that it's like a conspiracy theory about how this is going to help Vegas set better lines? I think that might have been you. That's absolutely wild. I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan about it. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. My bad. My bad. I think that the garage sort of messed it up, and somebody just ended up saying that the NFL got damn. They definitely did. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate that. And Ollie was not happy about that. Yo, I got 2 new Buffalo Bills tattoos. Yo, tweet them at me, bro. I'm interested. And so I always like seeing some new Bills tats. Always a good thing. It kind of feels like how Apple programmers need to make one little change, and you have to update just so they feel valid having their jobs. It's one piece of code. It's like one piece of code, and then afterwards they're just celebrated like it's no tomorrow. The team kicking should be able to walk the batter and just give them on the 25. Why even cook? Big L 716 said had to reboot the system. Absolutely. All right, guys. Listen, last story. This is just a Friday episode. I don't want to keep you too long. As always, Bills Mafia happy hour is going to be at 4:30 p.m. It's only on 4:30 on Friday. And then it's just going to be like a 45-minute stream where we're talking nothing but Bills. So in case you guys wanted to join that, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much for always the support. The one thing I did kind of want to talk about was the whole Tua camera situation, right? Everybody in the world was freaking out about this. And I thought that we could go on ahead and we could take a look at it together, right? Let's share this real fast. Bang, bang. Look at that. That's the camera. And like a lot of Miami Dolphins fans are kind of just like, damn, like why the hell does my quarterback have a camera on his helmet? And TD especially got roasted because I'm not sure if you guys followed TD on Twitter, but he ended up posting some variation of this saying, hey, listen, I told you that this man just can't go through his progressions properly. This sort of camera is only put on quarterbacks' heads in OTAs when they're having problems, et cetera, et cetera. I would unfortunately have to tend to agree with him. If you ever look at any sort of video like footage or video camera footage from quarterbacks that have this on their head, it's normally when they have a hard time going through the progressions and going past their first read. If you're looking at, say that you look at Tua and like you just like look at the film, like say for example, his first guy is not wildly open immediately, he almost looks lost. Last year, the only sole reason why I thought that he did somewhat decent was just because he had so much speed on the outside between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle that 9 times out of 10, that first seed was always open. That first read was almost always open. It's it's definitely wild when it comes into it. So the delusional Patriots fan saying not training camp, but how bad do you have to be that you get a camera in OTAs? I mean, I'm definitely not hating on the guy for trying to improve his game, but I feel like there's certain things in the game of football that are difficult to improve. Um, Number one is accuracy, and then number two is vision. I think both of those you're practically set by the time that you get to those ages of like 19 to 23. If like you haven't fixed up your accuracy, like by the time that you're 2021 in the league, it's very difficult for you to. And then same thing with vision as well. Same thing with being able to properly. Um, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm definitely not saying it's impossible. Like I'd say prime example is Josh Allen. Like he ended up, sort of fixing up his accuracy from his freshman year or his first year in the league afterwards. But it's just wild. Have a great day, everyone. I got to finish this work thing so I can split early and catch up. Oh, my man, look at that, dude. Couple beers. Tom Brady did it too. So with Tua looks huge now. Not sure good huge or Taco Bell huge. Man, I think he was just wearing a hoodie. So to be completely honest with you. So I feel like he was just wearing a hoodie, but he does look a little thick with a couple of C's, that's for sure. Get it, Jamie. It was just a concussion monitor. Got that. Cyborg Tua. Guys, listen, like I said, I just wanted to keep the show pretty short on Friday. Just a couple of different things I wanted to chat about. The rule, obviously, which we all agree is absolutely stupid. And then also with the Tua camera situation. Always a great thing. Guys, listen, once again, I'm going to be releasing my video, Top 10 Dirtiest Players in NFL History, here within the next couple of minutes. So make sure you go check that out. I am live every single Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST for Don Mafia Live for all NFL news, late breaking. I have guests on all the time, and I love making these shows about you. And then later today, Bill's Mafia Happy Hour starts at 4:30. So if you want to crack a beer, enjoy the weekend, definitely join me at 4:30. I will be sending it. Thank y'all, and we'll see you next time.